Hi there, welcome back. This is playlist number 1 for virtual business management. This is a playlist series where we're going to explore the different business models outlined by very popular YouTubers. And if you didn't catch the first introduction video on how to kind of validate your business idea, find the link down below. You can kind of cruise through the entire playlist. There's 13 videos because there's 12 different business models. But it starts with the introduction on how to validate your business idea. So in the upcoming playlist, I have broken down the income potential for each type of business model. So that includes the ability to do it part-time, what you can realistically expect from a 3 to 5 year standpoint or midterm, and then also potential long-term upswing of the business as well. And I've also broken down the pros and cons of each type of business model. So you realistically can say, is this something I already can start? Is this something I need to develop skills or insights on? Or can I rule this out completely? So let's explore each one of those business models now, starting with virtual business management, or you can kind of say freelancing, virtual assistants, coaches, consultants, that type of thing. So let's jump into that video now. All right, and I'm going to get real matter of a fact here that entrepreneurship is a grind. It is something that you can't really just lean into. And I know that there's a lot of people who talk about side hustles out there. And really, if you truly want to be successful in business ownership or entrepreneurship, you really should lean into it 100%. But there are certain businesses that you can start with and kind of just dabble in first. And I will say freelancing is probably the best model for this to be able to start. There are a few others that I would highly recommend too, but really freelancing is a good one to start if you already have some skills that you can kind of monetize. So let's talk about virtual service-based models. So these are very popular amongst people like Dan Coe, one of my favorite creators, Dea, as well as Alex Cattoni and Location Rebel, who are both copywriters as well, and Chris Do. So these are really the business models that love working with other people in helping other people in their business. They usually have a skill or are willing to acquire a skill, and they are looking to monetize that skill. So if you are an account executive or an admin assistant, you already have the skills necessary to become a virtual assistant and work from home. The only thing is a lot of people just don't have the kind of guts to try it. So perhaps like a part-time basis could be somewhere to start to see if it is right for you. Web design is another very, very common virtual service-based business, as well as copywriting and any kind of freelancing service out there. I would say for the most part, I fall in this category myself as being a virtual group coach, as being a consultant as well. So I offer freelance services like web design and that type of thing. So I do know this business model through and throughout because I live and breathe it. So some of the pros of this is there's very low overhead. For the most part, if you have a computer, an internet connection, some skills, it can be quite easy to start this business model. The flexibility can also be amazing. It also can be a curse. I will admit that. You know, being on your own schedule really does require some discipline to get up and do it. But for the most part, you can set your own business hours and work around even your clients' needs. And the income potential could be huge. Some people do start on an hourly basis with the same model of being paid for your time, but then this model really will allow you to scale your income based on your skills. So the more skills you have, the different pricing models then you can absolutely offer, because people are paying for your expertise and your knowledge and have no problem in paying for the services that you are offering because you are bringing the best to the table then. So the cons of this is that you do have to find your own clients. This is not the type of business where you just make a random social media post and people start flocking to you, or you post on Fiverr and people will all of a sudden start booking you up. It doesn't necessarily work like that. First of all, some of the gig economy is very, very competitive. But outside of that, I do a lot of cold calling. I do a lot of face-to-face. I do a lot of cold email reach out. I do a lot of prospecting. And that is the reality of this. And yes, I do have social media, and my YouTube channel is honestly part of my advertising marketing strategy as well. I have gotten clients through this channel already at this point. So yeah, you do have to work to find clients in this industry. You're not just going to walk into a business office and say, hey, I'm here, and people just start throwing money at you like you would as an employee, basically. I mean, yes, that income is limited and you do have no anonymity. So, but if you have no problem with the go-getting part of it, this can be an amazing, amazing, amazing business model for people who have skills. So another big con of this one is the isolation. Freelancing is a very lonely job. And I will say that some of the ways that I kind of look to break the isolation, because a lot of days it's just me and my computer or me and my laptop. So some of the ways that I go out there to kind of break that isolation is by networking, whether that's virtual or in person locally. I also tend to find other friends who also perhaps work from home themselves, and we kind of work together just so that, you know, you can have a coffee with someone once in a while. And that's the other thing, because you are a flexible kind of workplace, you can just randomly go for a lunch or coffee with someone along the way as well. And the last real big con is self-discipline. To be able to be successful in a virtual service-based business, you have to have the self-discipline to say when it's time to play and when it's time to work. And I will say, I have ADHD. I have every excuse in the book for not getting anything done, but I have created systems and processes that keep me so in line. I use my calendar to book out everything. I've even created videos below on my both 12-week planning process as well as my day-to-day planning as well. I break that down, how that looks like. So if you were curious, I'll tag those videos below as well. But self-discipline is so necessary, I think, just for entrepreneurship in general. But when you are virtual based, it is really easy to get distracted with the Netflix series of the month type of thing that everyone is talking about on social media. Reindeer or something right now, I think that's what it is. But anyway, yeah, self-discipline. You need to be on your tasks at all times. Otherwise, your reputation is going to be affected, which then affects your income. So self-discipline, probably the hardest thing to do, but if you can absolutely nail it, you will do really, really well in this. Now, let's look at income potential. So really, on a part-time basis, a realistic income can be anywhere from, say, $500 a month upwards to $3,000 a month. So it depends really on the skills that you are looking to sell and how often you are out there getting jobs. It really can vary. It's very hard to kind of nail this research down. And if we look more kind of midterm, 3 to 5 years, it is very, very common for most people to be making $5,000 to $10,000 a month. I'm quoting US dollars here. It's very, very common to be in kind of that range. However, if you do move into more of an agency model, there is a significantly higher upswing, but then you also do have additional costs of people that will come into play, so which will eat into the profitability, but you can scale this as well. So to summarize this, there's great income potential, there's great part-time income potential, there is a huge amount of flexibility and reward that comes from building and managing and owning and running your own thing. But it does require sales skills and it does require discipline. Those are the biggest things. And it's really inexpensive potentially to start up, excluding any kind of education that you maybe have had in the field. But basically, virtual business management is a fantastic way for people to start a business and work from home. And with that, I'm going to encourage you, check out video number 2. It is in the playlist below, and I will see you in that video next.